Hi. Hi. Definitely not late. I didn't mess up at all. So, wait. Is my sound good? As always, at the beginning. As always. I think you can hear me well. If not, just wait, I guess. I don't. So, today, I'm going to do something new. I'm not gonna play again today. I'm going to teach you. Oh, actually, hi. I'm Zoa, your pro gamer cat girl from a parallel universe. I got it done now. See? I finished. It's good now. So, this is an educational video today. Today I'm teaching you something, or more like we study together. So we're gonna learn Korean. The reason I'm late is that I was preparing the thing I'm going to teach with. I really tried my best to make it as easily followable as possible. But then again, what was I saying? But yeah, I gave it my best. I started too late. Been really busy, so I did my best to make it look cool now. So I wanted to do more. Actually, I was planning to do a lot more, like change my overlay for the stream and stuff. But I messed up. You know, there was Stray Kids comeback. There's such Stray Kids comeback. So, I have prepared something else. Might not have prepared a perfect overlay yet, but since we're doing smart things today, I prepared glasses. You like them? Do they look good? They don't move. I just stopped moving them. See? Now I have cool smart people glasses. Isn't that great? You feel well prepared? Do you like it? Wait, I gotta stay here. Gotta stay in place. I just gotta stay constantly in place. I think I can turn the music just a tiny bit. Just a tiny little bit. This is education today. So no music distraction. I know, I always learn with music. I'm sure some of you do this well. That's apparently not good. I mean, it's okay if it's music like this, I guess. I don't know, I don't pay attention to that. I don't need to study anymore. So, let's get into it. Just let me move this over to the side. This has been really messy, so bear with me. I'm just really late. So, I could at least prepare this. Isn't it great? Am I in place? Are my glasses sitting well? Yes. Perfect. Oh wait, I had also hands. I prepared hands. Oh, whatever. No hands for today. We don't need hands. Hands are for losers. So, as you can see, can you see my mouse? No. Well, it's gonna be fine. Okay. Korean 101. Isn't that great what I call it? It's not actually, I don't know how 101s work. I just called it like that because, you know, I thought it was catchy. So how to read Hangul. If you can read this already, you don't need to watch this video. But you can still stick here. Or like this live stream. Well, anyway. Also feel free to ask anything, anytime over the topic, obviously. So, yeah, what are we gonna do today? I also have no idea how long this takes. I have no idea if this works. No idea how long this is gonna take. I've never tried it out. Actually, I just made it real quick and now, okay. We're start with basic consonants. I'm gonna struggle a lot to say the word consonants. I think you say it like that. Then we have basic vowels. Right? Yes. How to write? I forgot. Yeah, the silent letter, double consonants, complex vowels, words, and that's it. That's what we're gonna do today. Pretty simple. So, basic consonants. Let's just start right away. I forgot one thing I wanted to add, but we'll just ignore it. So this is k or g. Let's just go. This is k. Bear in mind, none of these are exactly like Korean has an own alphabet, English has an own alphabet. So neither the person that made English nor the person that made Korean was trying to match up the words and sounds to the other languages. So this is just the closest letter that English has to offer that is similar to the Korean. That it's like k. Also, I'm not Korean, as I would need to learn Korean. So yeah, I wouldn't be here. I mean, I could teach it, but I don't speak Korean, so we're working on that. Then we have like similar to an N sound. Yeah, I'm being there with my cursor for no reason. Look, that's N. Not like N. That's like the English thing. It's more like isn't it? Nin. Well, the something like the sound. This is one of the more difficult. It's like R is the name of this letter in general. And if you noticed, Asians or like also in Asia, but maybe like for this example, Koreans struggle with the R and L sound because they don't have really R and L. They have what is for us hard to pronounce as well, as we don't have in our. So it's like a similar thing to R and L. So you go from, in some words it's more an L sound, more an R sound, so it's really hard to decipher. So just for the beginning, this is something like something like that. Yeah, R or L, just not R and L. It's a bit complicated. It's not that complicated. As you can tell, it's just very simple 101, but to pronounce it correctly is just a thing. Also, it's not always that easy, but these letters are formed after how the mouth forms itself when it says them. So k is like your mouth should look like this. That's the origin of the letters. If you go back to they were created. A little bit of history knowledge that is not 100% accurately. I'm just saying it very simplified so you can follow it easily. I was originally wanted to prepare like a history part for Hangul as well, and more for the pronunciation, but I didn't have time anymore. This is really unfortunate and sad. So basically, so the history, of course, we all know Chinese, and we all know how difficult Chinese is. If you have looked at a little bit of Chinese, you can really quickly notice that it's very hard. So a lot of Koreans couldn't read or speak Chinese because it was simply too hard and obviously very difficult. So they came up with a simplified version of Chinese, Hangul, to make it easier for like simple folk to learn Korean, like to learn speaking and writing. So that's why Hangul in theory is an easier language. Like not for us especially, but comparing it to Chinese, it's very simple and simplified version of it. So the next would be and that's also why these are supposed to symbolize the mouth movements, or like what your mouth looks like when you say these symbols. Letters, that's the word, letters. And then we have b, f, Like here it's a J, it's like a Z sound. It's not, I don't pronounce it 100% correct. I just gotta put it. And ha. Yeah, that are basically the consonants. So we have k, n, d, b, m, b, s, j, ha, ha, ha. So when you look at romanizations of different for lyrics or something, you have always romanization like this version of the words. You will notice that k and g are used to represent k, because both are similar to, like you could use both letters to romanize as well. But in general, I would suggest not going for the summarized version. So don't write and don't go like a Korean word, write the romanization and then the translation. Just write a Korean word and then the translation. That's also why we learned the how to read and write first. And yeah, same thing goes for the. It's like D and T, because both is pretty similar to the Korean letter. So it's the and T for the, and we have R and L to represent. Well, as said before, both are very similar to the closest to the Korean version of it. Basic vowels. We have E, what is very easy to remember as it already looks like an E. We have A, it looks like that. Can't say much to it. O, even though stop it. Anyway, O, as you can see, how I pronounce it's not like E-O, it's more like the word kind of like when you're thinking in English and you're like this is more similar to than O. So we have U, and O. I always remember this as under with you going under, and O. Well, that doesn't work for you guys. But in German there's the word oben, what means up. It's that simple for me. You guys just have to remember when it goes up, it's O. But under almost works, but it's pretty useless too. Cool. So, how to write Korean? Because we have now learned the consonants and vowel. I don't know how you learned English letters. I personally don't remember having them in consonants and vowels. Maybe we did. It's been a while since I learned the alphabet. So, when we write in Korean, we have one letter here and one letter on like the 1 part and on the 2 part. Or we can also have letters that are written like this: 1, 2, 3. These numbers always symbolize a letter written in Korean, like a Korean letter. All these numbers symbolize a Korean letter. Same, but it can also be like this and this. So you might wonder, when do I do what? Seems like really random. They just randomly go. No, it's not random, obviously. First, number 2 is always a vowel. Always, 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 always. So the 2, as you can see here in these examples, is always a vowel. No consonant ever. And 3 and 1 is therefore, and sometimes 4, but we haven't been there, are always consonants. There's no in between. There's never gonna be a vowel on 1, there's never gonna be a consonant on 2, and no other. It's always the same thing. Blocks containing a horizontally drawn vowel are always drawn in one of these 2 ways. These 2 ways are meaning the last 2 ones. So the last 2 examples. And blocks containing a vertically drawn vowel are always drawn in one of these 2 ways. So the first 2 ones. So to make this more visually for you all, it's like you have, if it's like vertically, and this is a vertically drawn vowel, so it's like ku. If something like vertically drawn is used again, we can also go write like this, And if it's a horizontally drawn vowel, we go like this. Cha. And we have the last version, that will be bap. So you have the vertical versions written in the first two versions and the horizontal versions in the last two versions. Yeah. Oh. Spoiler! As I said, I haven't tried it out, but let's go with this. So we have this letter. As you we are at the silent letter, and you might be wondering, silent letter? I know what this is. As I learned before, this is good. So that's right. If you're looking at these examples, it's kang, bang, king, kong. Everything written here has the letter g at the end. Tricky is just if you go look for these examples, it's an, on, and op. So here this letter is silent, and that is just before I explain it, you might also recognize one word, 안녕하세요. That is 안녕 in short. Well, it basically means hello, and most people can say hello in Korean or have heard it before. And you would also be wondering, if one is always a consonant, how can 안녕 start with a vowel? This is because the silent letter here, if you put this letter on 1, it's silent. If you put it on 3, you read like the N, D, and G sound. So obviously also the option with ang works when it's like at the end. It's weird. Just say it in Mongol. And on 1. So we have ang. Yeah. That's basically a silent letter. There's not much to this. That's why there. Just at the beginning it's silent. At the end you say it out loud. Now we also have double consonants. That starts with the g set. We have g. It's a letter you already learned. So k, like g, k, g. And g, the double one, is a new letter, and it's with 2 g placed by side. It sounds very similar to the original, but it's more forced at the beginning, so it's often romanized as k, 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 k. There's a me. I have not prepared this one. So it's very similar, these two, of how they are sounding. So I'm just looking for an example, don't mind me. So I can show you this. You listen to it and you will hear the g sound with different vowels behind. So it's like ki, ga, go, gu, gu, go. But I can check now if I said it correctly. I'm gonna make a little pause for the music so you guys can hear it properly. Ki, ka, ko, ku, ku, ko. So this is for the first letter version. And now if we go make it a double one, so it's more like a harder version of it, kind of like, it would sound like this. Ki, ka, ko, ku, ku, ko. So as I cannot pronounce it perfectly, she will do that, as it's very difficult for me. But we're learning together after all. It's not me, I am teaching you, but I just learn better that way. So we have also the k sound. It's also a new letter. This is also sounds very similar to the original g, and it's known as k. Like, this is always k, because it's always hard. So listening to that, it will be like this. Ki, ka, ko, ku, ku, ko. So the difference is very difficult to hear. And it's more difficult to pronounce it as well. So just so you know, there are 3 letters that are like a good kind of sound, but they're like k, k, k. Sounds very similar. It's very similar. That's just it. That's just it. Then we have the letter B. What is like what we already learned? What sounds like this?
B, pa, po, pu, pu, po.
And the new one is a new letter. It is with the two b, b placed by side. It sounds very similar to the original b, but it's more forced at the beginning to pronounce. This Romanized it's b, 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 double b. So it sounds like this.
B, pa, po, pu, pu, po.
So you can hear how it's more forced at the beginning. So most of the time, if it's double, it's like a more forced way of saying the consonant. Then we have p. It's also a new letter. This is also sounds very similar. Whoops. Also sounds very similar to the original p, but it's romanized as p, like a p sound. It is very close to a p in English, but even in English, b and p are very similar. Say box and pox, and try to sing English too. So for the sound, this will be, where is it? This would be p.
P, pa, po,
Hi, power.
po.
I shouldn't have. Back to this is p.
P, pa, po, pu, pu, po.
So yeah, this is that letter. Then we have the Z set. So we have Z is the better letter J that we have already learned, and then we add the like Z. It's a new letter. It is to Z placed side by side. Sounds again very similar to the original, but it's more forced at the beginning. So we have Z.
지, 자, 저, 주, 주, 조.
And the new version?
지, 자, 저, 주, 주, 조.
Again, it's very similar, but more force. So just remember, if it's double force, I'm just gonna use a file. This is the ch sound. Like, it's also a new letter that it also sounds very similar to the original ch, but it's like the ch in English. So it's like China, for example. It is closer to ch in English, but even in English, j and ch are very similar. Say char and jar. Try distinguish it. So here we have the ch sound.
치, 차, 저, 주, 주, 조.
So yeah, it's very similar. Oh, I messed up again. Anyway, same goes with the D set. It's the same letter you already learned, the D. D. It's a new letter. It is two D placed by side. It sounds again very similar and more forced, and it's romanized as D. So you have the original.
디, 다, 더, 드, 두, 도.
And the new version.
디, 다, 더, 드, 두, 도.
Yeah. And we have the two. So D is always D, double D is double D, and T is like a T sound. Also, again, like a new letter, and it's pronounced more like T. So we have this can be pronounced as D, like romanized as D, but this is always T. Yeah, but D and T are already similar in English as well. So yeah, and now we have the S set. S is the letter we already learned, and Z is the new letter placed side by side again. Again, it sounds very similar to S, but it's more forced, like always. So we have the original, like the S sound at the beginning.
사, 서, 스, 수, 소.
And the double sound.
시, 사, 서, 스, 수, 소.
Yeah. Can I go back? I was gonna say k, and k are very, very similar. Hi is it's pronounced I. Oh, is that Greenlandish again? Greenlandish, do you say it like that? No idea. So yeah, k, and k sound very similar. You barely hear a difference, and also Koreans barely hear a difference. So for this, if you go back if you ask a normal Korean, they will probably normal Korean. Yeah, if you ask a Korean, they're probably gonna tell you it's the same. It sounds the same. If you ask a Korean teacher, they will tell you that they sound the same now, but back then, when you look in history, then they have been a distinction between them, but they grew apart from time. So they used to have different meanings, but now it doesn't anymore. Like, or not really. It just sounds the same. The language is Inkikut in northern Canada. Oh, that sounds cool. Not a lot of languages, I guess. And that complex vowels. We have a, o, u, and o. So the o sound is more like the a in like the h in English. So a. So then you're thinking like, oh yeah, we had this already. I'm done. So we had these basics that we already learned, and now we just add another line, and we add an y sound. Is it y? We call it y, right? I don't know. But basically, if we add a in a line, it's ya. Same with o, it's yo. Tsu, u, but tsu. It's turning into you, and o turns into yo. And here we have we can also do the same thing with a and add a straight line, but we'll make it to e. Same thing goes with the o sound with the non-lines, and it's going to turn into e. Again, e and e sounds very similar, as they are not very easily to distinguish. They're just very similar, basically. So we can also add vowels together. So we have the u sound and the e sound, what turns into we. Example, sui. And we have here. Then we have u and o, what turns into o. And then we have o and e, what turns into oh, wait. Sounds like wait. Example, way cook. So like this, what they say. What my presentation. So, oh is kind of like way. The example is way cook. Cook? No, it's good, yes. Then we have the o and a, what turns into wa. So in general, if you add these two, it turns into this w sound with the vowel that you combined it with. So we have the wa as it's ending with a. You have at the top we have the e, so it ends with we. You get the point. And we have u and e, which turns into we. And yo and e, what turns into ye. And then these are the left ones are all very common ones that you will find more often in Korean. The following ones are very, very rare. So we have we, what is most commonly used in we. Actually, that's your first word. I sneaked in a few words before, but that's okay. We is like meaning why, and it's the most commonly used in why. So next would be ye, most commonly seen in the word 얘기하다, meaning to talk with. In general, and here we have we. This is probably the most uncommon one. The person that made this, like where I'm sourcing from, has learned 8,000 Korean words, and 3 of them use the letter we. So you will not lose that much if you don't find that one. It's also not that easy to remember, so just remember it. So one word where it's used most commonly is wedding, as the Korean, as like the English version. Did it again. So how do you write it? Unlike the complex ones, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 again, representing each one letter, or the version like this. So one for the right version would be 없다, to not have. So you put the consonant on 1 and your vowel on 2, and the 2 consonants on 3 and 4. Again with the word kulda, to scratch. Choose off the left version. So you have the g on 1, u on 2, and l on 3, and g on 4. Yeah. You would also say, how do you put these ones? So, we and we, as they are also vowels that because they look like 2 letters. But in Korean, you see these as 1 letter. So they just stand on the 2 every time, like always. 1, 3, and 4 can also only be consonants. For the pronunciation of these double consonants, they are very difficult, and I was supposed to prepare the pronunciations as well, but I didn't have time anymore. Sorry. Yeah, and now we just finished with the words. We have hotel. Also, now we can read them in Korean. Hopefully, if you paid attention from the beginning of the stream. And these are all English words that are more commonly, like hotel in Korean is hotel, or like hotel with Korean, like Hangul. There's no, I mean, maybe there's a Korean word, but I wouldn't know it. So let's just act like it's only hotel and nothing else. Then we have sofa, what means sofa, and you might realize sofa is not sofa, as there's not really a F sound in Korean. So you only have like the P sound-ish thing, like the P is the closest you get to F in Korean. So sofa turns into sofa. And then we have television for television. Also, B is the closest you get for V as good night. And wait, what? Good night is, and it's said as Cool. Very cool. Yeah. And then we have radio and radio. So you just read the English word in Korean, and then you have the Korean actual word for it. That happens easily in Korean, but like not you can't just go Korean, read every English word in Korean, they won't get it. But some words work. Switch. Here again, switch. The consonant can't work alone, so they added the E sound for switch. To say switch will also be understood. Game for game, obviously. I mean, the translations are pretty obvious. And then we have shopping. Shopping. For shopping. Orange for orange. Orange. And tin with a lot of EA sounds are like written in with the E sound in Korean. And we have taxi as the A sound. Taxi. And pizza for pizza. And hamburger. It's not like hambu, but it's hamburgo for hamburger. And shower for shower. And lastly, kadu for card. So some words are like, oh yeah, that when now that you say it, it sounds like card, but it's not really card, but it's just very similar. And yeah, and that's how far I got to now. If you want to learn more, or we can go through the pronunciation together, because I couldn't prepare more for it, because I didn't have time. I used how to study Korean to learn it in general. I just wanted to make it pretty, but I didn't have time to completely finish it. Close. But I do want to get back and make another episode about pronunciation. So here you get here's pronunciation as how I originally learned. Okay. So listen to some of the syllables and sequence so you can get a feel for what should sound like.
강, 밥, 숨,
Oh, 밥.
도, 민, 육, 실, 력, 교, 예, 무, 화, 동, 학, 김, 의, 월, 식, 금, 원,
And
빵, 모, 외, 산, 십, 헷, 지.
So, this also just works a lot with, in general, to learn the pronunciation, it's like the easiest to just go and learn the pronunciation as to listen to it, as it's easier to explain it to you in general as going for to just listen to it. I can't speak well. Good morning is Ulasis Trit Silit. Cool.
Ship. Ship.
So ship. No, I missed one. Anyway, ship is 10 in Korean, and it's the easiest to have like ship and the Korean version. For dog, you have like
Da. Do. Do.
meaning poison and means. However, for word or consonant is a final sound, the first letter on the following syllables O and G, meaning the first sound is a vowel, and the breath from the final consonant from the first syllable gets pronounced with the vowel from the syllable. It is confusing to write in a sentence, so I will show you an example. For example, in Korean, mok in Korean is pronounced the same way as described earlier, cancelling out the last breath after G in mok. For example, in mok, if the following syllable is consonant, nothing changed, and these two syllables are pronounced as usual.
먹다.
먹다. 먹고.
먹어.
먹어. However, if the next syllable starts with a vowel, the breath after K sound is made along with its vowel. For example,
먹어.
sounds like. No, it doesn't sound like it. 먹고. No, that is not actually written like this, but only sounds like it. Yeah. I don't know. Find it. Also, now that the two syllables were pronounced separately, mok and o, the sound would not happen. Mogo. Cool. The most confusing of this rule is when s and z are the last, letter in the syllable. When either of these in the final letter of a syllable, they are not pronounced as z, instead they are pronounced similar to z sound. The reason for this is the same as I described earlier. This is Korean people don't allow the breath of air out of their mouth on the final consonant. As soon as one's tongue touches their teeth, making an S sound, The sound stops and no breath is made after it. So,
shit, head, cat, 옷, 알, 질.
hello frog. You changed your name. I mean, you're halfway in. I mean, this is the last thing we learned, so a little late. But I also didn't prepare well. I was very late for the stream. Anyway, where I are? Yeah, but just like mok and o, if syllables ending in z connect to another syllable where the first sound is a vowel, that z or z is pronounced as s combined in the following vowel. I know it's very confusing.
head,
했어,
했어.
했어. I'm sure you guys understand. Yep. Head, and o, and 했어. As with 먹다, if the following syllable starts with a consonant, it gets pronounced normally.
했다.
했다. Ah, not normally. Okay. 했다. Explaining why different endings will come after a word, for example, 먹다 versus 먹고, and 했다 versus 했어. Yeah, it's something you will understand if you learn about Korean grammar. Yay! Lesson 4. I thought you stream after 2 hours. No. Oh wait, I'm going to stream up Apex later. If you mean that. That is gonna start Apex starts in 2 hours. Yeah, in 2 hours I'll stream again, but this is just a Korean study stream. I have prepared, it looked better before because I prepared things. Look how pretty I made it. But I messed up. So, back here. No aspiration. Oh wait. Yeah. No aspiration. In the previous section of this lesson, it was explained that the final letter next to Korean syllable is not aspirated. You saw this causes the pronunciation of syllables to differ in the next syllables. In other words, beginning with the consonant 먹다.
먹어.
Try pronouncing the word 먹다 again.
먹다.
Try it again as you pronounce it about the movement of your tongue. 그 sound in 먹 to the d sound in da. 먹다. There isn't anything hindering or stopping this movement. Yes. I might not be able to hear. It's 1 AM. Oh yeah, don't worry about it. Man, that's late for you. Where are you? Where is it 1 AM right now? Oh. Wait, I should have. There's some combination of syllables where, when pronounced, the movement of one's tongue is not easy. In these cases, it's hard to move one's tongue fast enough to make the appropriate sound. Most, but not all, these occur when the letter R is involved. For example, try pronounce the syllable bok. Now pronounce the syllable 리. Pronounced separately, they sound like 보리.
리.
Yeah. Technically, I'll stream Apex at 3 AM. Sorry.
봉리.
보리. 보리. Wait, what?
봉리.
Bong. Notice that the R sound, all R, L, R, sound isn't distinct. It sounds more like an N sound. Let's discuss why this phenomenon occurs. As mentioned earlier in this lesson, the G sound is not aspirated. Therefore, immediately after the unaspirated G sound, one must pronounce the L sound. Without an aspiration, without a breath, there is no time for one's tongue to move correctly pronouncing this L sound. There are many ones that are like this. There's no listening. Did my music stop? Music? Cute. There are many words that are like this. There's no use listing all of them because that would overstress you into thinking that memorizing all of this is important. Yay! The ideas that I am presenting in this section and in this lesson in general are things that you should keep in mind but don't need specifically memorize yet. The pronunciation of Korean words as a beginner will inevitably be off, even for words where the pronunciation is relatively straightforward. I have gone through the list of vocabulary presented in every lesson in Unit 1 and 2. There are a total of 1,850 words in these two units. From all of these words, I found 22 words that exhibit this phenomenon. The fact that only 22 of 1,850 words have this might be an indication of how much attention you should give it at this stage. Yay! Again, be aware of it, but don't worry about it too much as an absolute beginner. So, you guys. Words where one syllable ends in n, g, n, g. How do you say it alone? And the next syllable starts with w. In these words, the g sound changes to an n sound. Listen to an audio recording of each of these words to train your ear. Yay!
정류장 종류 대통령 등록 능력 명령 입장료 동료.
Words where one syllable ends in n and the next syllable starts with r. In these words, the L sound and sound. My brain. N sounds changes to sound. Listen to an audio recording. Yeah, we listen.
안락 훈련 관련 관리비 권력.
Words where one syllable ends in g and the next syllable starts with r. In these words, the g sounds changes to an n sound and the r sounds changes to an n sound. Listen to an audio recording of each of these to train your ear.
국립 학력
Words where one syllable ends in n and the next syllable starts with r. In these words, the r sound changes to an n sound. Listen to an audio recording. Yep.
음료수
Words where one syllable ends in p and the next syllable starts with n. In these words, the p sound changes to a n sound. Listen to an audio recording of each of these words and train your ear.
앞니
Words where one syllable ends in t and the next syllable ends with n. In these words, the t sound changes to n and listen to an audio recording. Yep.
끝내다
끝내다. 끝내다.
끝나다
끝나다. Words where one syllable ends in g and the next syllable starts with m. In these words, g sound changes to ng sound. Listen to an audio. Yep.
박물관
박물관.
목마르다
목마르다. Words where one syllable ends in the ch and the next syllable starts with n. In these words, the ch sound changes to an n sound. Yep.
몇몇
연연.
몇몇
연연. Sounds cute. Words where one syllable ends in s. If a syllable ends in s, it's possible it might be the middle s. This is a very difficult. Oh yeah. 131. Alright, not getting that. The pronunciation of 씁니다 or 씁니다. Lesson 6. 씁니다. 씁니다.
씁니다.
씁니다. The pronunciation of syllable with 4 letters. The pronunciation of syllables that contain 4th letter is a little bit different than above. If you are a beginner, you definitely do not need to memorize these rules, sounds, concepts from the very beginning. Being comfortable with Korean pronunciation takes years and it's not something that you can wrap your head around in a day. The best thing you can do is, as a beginner, is simply familiarize yourself with what is presented below and above for the matter as you progress through our lessons. You will eventually come across these words in our vocabulary list and an example sentence in our lesson. Lucky for you, our vocabulary words aren't example sentences that have audio files attached to them. So you can listen to them as they presented. If they don't have an audio link, they will eventually. Familiarize yourself with what is presented below. Yeah, okay. For example, if you listen to the word 닭. No, for example, is some. It's not audible. Some, yeah. It's hard for me to explain because you probably haven't learned much, if any, Korean grammar at this point. Joke's on you, I did. The 2 words above are nouns. For all intents of purpose, it would be rare to find a noun just sitting by itself in a sentence. Rather, in Korean, one of many particles or other things would be attached to it. You wouldn't learn about these particles yet? Yeah, okay, particles, that's advanced. Learn by yourself? Yeah, basically. If someone wants to join, you can. Or like, I teach the void how to speak English. You will learn about the meanings of all these in later lessons. But don't worry about that, now let's just focus on pronunciation. If the thing that attaches of these words starts with a consonant, there's time rule from above, and only one of the 2 bottom consonants is pronounced. For example, these are 2 separate examples in audio files. I thought it would be better to get okay.
닭과 닭만.
닭과 닭만. Well, if the thing is that attached to the word starts with a vowel, the pronunciation of the final vowel, the fear will have to upcoming syllables, for example. Syllable. For example.
닭을 닭이다.
닭이다. I think this is just really advanced things. I think the main things are here. Mainly. As you said, you will repeat everything later anyway. So I think for learning for Korean, I think we're done. Oh, oops. Yeah, I don't think there's much more to learn. I think the pronunciation guide is just to help you when you're further, or actually I think it's repeating itself, so it's just a whole thing. Can you speak basic? In theory, I just teach the Hangul part, but what is the definition of basic Korean? I can speak a bit Korean, but not anything really. Nothing noteworthy. I can fluently read Korean, if you were wondering. And you guys can now too! Fluently, hopefully, maybe. I hope this stream helped if you were curious about learning Korean. Wait, I can move I wanted to move my glasses, but that's also fine. So, now it's natural as my glasses follow my ears. My ears? What am I saying? My eyes. They follow my eyes very naturally. Not manually at all. No. Yeah. So, if anyone was watching or is going to watch the stream later, I hope you had fun learning Korean with me. I don't like Korean, yeah. Okay, that's good for you. Also fine. Anyway, if you like Korean or learn Korean or... No way, what I'm saying. If you use the stream to learn Korean, I hope you had fun and this was helpful. This is basically just learning how to read Hangul. That's good for you. Yeah. But for now, reading and speaking, no. The reading part in Hangul is done. And now we can actually start with actual lessons. I think this is great with the glasses. So yeah. That's it from me. I don't have anything else to add to there. Thank you guys for watching. I streamed for an hour. I mean, I didn't stream. It was early. Why are you crying? Don't cry. You have good language. I mean, you have tasted. I'm just. Don't cry. That's what I'm saying. I can't be in the next stream. I hope you're not alone. You don't worry. You don't have to worry about me being alone. It's alright. But thank you for looking out. It's very sweet. And in general, just being there. It's very sweet of you. So, thank you a lot. Today is a very chill day. I didn't even expect that. I mean, I had to prepare for this stream, so it makes sense that I didn't have much to do before. But that's nice. Okay, anyway, I still gonna end the stream now. Sorry for being late if anyone was waiting for the stream. I doubt it, but in theory, if anyone wanted, look at my schedule. Yeah, 8B already. So, if anyone was looking at the schedule and be like, hey, yeah, Korean stream, and was there at 7 rating and I wasn't there yet, I'm sorry. I will try my best to be there. Yeah, thank you! You're really sweet!